Hey everyone, it's Tracy Martirana here from Holistic Wellness with Tracy. Today is part 4 of what I think I'm calling my sensible and sustainable weight loss series. I created this series to help you and sort of also help me lose weight in a sustainable way, right? In a way that makes sense, that isn't painful, that isn't like a practice in like denouncing every food we love, right? It's meant to be sustainable. We can lose the weight and then we can keep it off. So we build a lifestyle where we know how to eat, we know how to exercise. We just get back to how we take care of ourselves and live our lives in a way that includes our favorite foods, a glass of wine here or there when we want it, right? It's not about deprivation, it's about healthy, balanced living. I am currently several months into my weight loss journey, and I was not obese. I had just gained enough weight that I wasn't feeling comfortable in my body. My clothes were starting to feel tight. And I'm like, this is not how I want to look. This is not how I want to feel. I want to feel healthier. I want to be more active. I want to be healthy and active and strong as I age. So these are the things that I have done, what has worked for me. And I think for most people, it's a pretty sensible way to look at weight loss, not getting into the fad diets or do this weird thing, eat this weird thing, take that supplement. None of that. It's just about making good choices and learning how your body reacts and just living life in a healthy way. If you missed the first 3 videos, please go back and watch them. I will link them here for you. I will put them at the end of the video. I will put them down in the description box. I want you to go back and watch those videos and start at the beginning. Don't try to jump in partway through the whole process, right? It's important that you start at the beginning. And of course, before we get started, I have to give a disclaimer, okay? Number 1, if you have ever suffered disordered eating or sort of ever feel yourself pulled in that direction, tread carefully, talk to a professional. Dieting might not be the smartest thing for you. Also, whoever you are, discuss any lifestyle changes with your doctor or other medical professional. Most of the changes that I suggest are perfectly fine for a healthy person, but you could have risk factors that might alter things a little bit. You might have underlying medical issues that need to be considered that I don't know of, right? Because I don't know you. I only know me. So make sure you talk to somebody so that you're doing what's right for your body. And lastly, the suggestions that I'm making are not rocket science. They aren't unique. They're things that we learned in health class that you could learn probably from any dietitian or exercise or wellness coach. It's nothing groundbreaking. However, it is generic, right? I'm telling you what worked for me, what I know of that has worked for other people, giving you ideas and thoughts. Not all of them are going to be perfect for you. You know you best. You listen to you. So just a quick recap of where you are right now if you've been following along. Number 1, you started tracking your calories before you ever tried to change what you were eating, and then you've been tracking them all along the process. You tracked and therefore did a reality check of your activity level. And if you noticed it was really low, you've been trying to add in more steps, more just general exercise. Hopefully you captured some starting data, like your original weight taken over a week or 2 before you started really trying to lose any weight. And maybe you even took some before and after pictures so that you can compare later on. Spoiler alert for me, I did not take before pictures, and I'm really wishing I had. You calculated your TDEE, which is your total daily energy expenditure, which is considered like your maintenance calories. It takes into consideration your age, your height, your activity level, and determines about how many calories you should eat a day to maintain your weight. And then you ate at that level, tracking your calories, for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, just to get a gist of what maintenance calories would feel like. And then 5, you made a small adjustment to your calories, dropping them down just a little bit, just like 200, maybe 300 calories a day down from that maintenance level to put you in a calorie deficit to start weight loss. Knowing that you may have been lucky enough to lose weight during the maintenance weeks, maybe not, that wasn't the goal, but you are now definitely at a slight, not a big, a slight calorie deficit, just a little one. Number 6, you're focusing on high protein, high fiber foods. We're not cutting out any food groups. We're not doing anything crazy. We're still eating the foods we like. We're just trying to ensure that we're getting a decent amount of protein and a decent amount of fiber in that mixture of foods that we're eating. Number 7, we are making meals and eating foods that we enjoy. So if we don't like salad, we aren't just eating salad. We are finding a way, whether it's searching Google, finding recipes, asking our friends, cooking from scratch, whatever it takes to come up with meals that we love, that taste good, that feel fulfilling and make us, feel good after we eat them. Enjoyable foods, and we're making sure that's what we're eating. Again, not an exercise in deprivation. We're eating foods we like, just in moderation. And lastly, we've been increasing our exercise, or just making sure we're getting well-rounded exercise. We're paying attention to our steps throughout the day so that we're not getting all of our exercise done, like just in the morning, exercise for 30 minutes and then sit on the couch all day long or sit at a desk all day long. We're trying to increase our steps throughout the day. We're trying to make sure we're getting some resistance training, using some weights, even if it's just dumbbells or our own body weight, trying to build a little bit of muscle so that we have strength, also knowing that muscle burns more calories. So we want to be strong, and we also want to burn more calories if we want to lose fat. And then we're also making sure that we have flexibility, whether it's just some daily stretches, whether it's yoga, whatever it is, flexibility, strength, a little bit of cardio / walking, movement type exercises. That's where we are right now. That's what we've done in the last several weeks, couple months, however long you've been at this. It's not moving fast, but it should be moving enjoyably, right? We should be feeling good about what we're doing. So even if the weight is slow to come off, that's okay, because we're not going to gain it back. So it can take a long time, just knowing that we're moving in the right direction from here until we're done losing, and then we'll maintain from there. So now, this far into the video, finally, what I really want to talk about is just maybe some issues that are popping up. Things that as we're eating in this calorie deficit, what's coming up? What issues are we having? What do we need to discuss to make sure that it's working for us? The first one I'm going to bring up was definitely an issue that I ran into, is what if there's like one day of the week where it's hard to stay in that calorie deficit? This could be, maybe there's one day a week where you meet people out for dinner. Maybe you have, as part of your job, you take customers out on some given day and you're expected to wine and dine them. Maybe every Saturday is game day and people are at your house and you're eating all kinds of like munchies and goodies and drinking some beers and enjoying life with friends, right? How do you navigate that? For me, it's Thursday nights. Thursday nights, we have people over every single week. We have a group of friends. We get together. We have munchies, appetizers. We have wine for like a few hours. We sit around and chit chat. And when you sit around and chit chat, you drink a little more wine than you should. You eat a little more cheese and crackers than you should, or at least I do. So how do I handle that? How should you handle that? For me, the one thing I noticed was, if I'm honest and I log everything, it's not as bad as I think it is. Like, I feel like, oh, I had 2 glasses of wine or 3 glasses of wine, and I know I munched several cheese and crackers. Well, if I put that in my tracker and I really guess, I'm like, all right, I really had maybe like 7 crackers, and it was probably 2 ounces of cheese, and then it was some carrot sticks and whatnot. Like, once I put that in the tracker, I was like, oh, well, that's not that bad. Sometimes I'm surprised. I feel like I went way over, and really all I did is come up to maybe eat at maintenance level. I didn't eat at a level that's like put on weight level. So I'm like, all right, I really didn't need to be that concerned. but there are other things that you can do. When we look at our calorie loss, we tend to look at it for like the week. So if you have a high day, maybe it's offset by a low day. So maybe one day you're over by 100 calories and another day you're under by 100 calories. It balances out in the end. So if you know you have a day that you are probably going to eat more, maybe the day before, the day after, you lower your calories just a little bit. We're not going crazy. We're not talking about I'm going to eat 500 calories today so that I can gorge myself and eat 2,500 calories tomorrow. It's a couple hundred that we're moving around, right? It's just like changing the budget. If you think about if you were budgeting money, it's the same idea. You're just moving money, shift a little here to there for the budget to even it out. You can also, which I've had to do, be a little more mindful before the evening even starts, right? This is how many glasses of wine I'm going to have. This is how much cheese I'm going to estimate that I'm allowed to eat, this many crackers. And then instead of just eating blindly, like just reaching, getting a plate and fixing a plate so you can see how much food you're eating, that helps as well. So you can play around with those and just, reality check yourself. Eating 200 extra calories on one day is not going to hurt you when you're already in a calorie deficit, right? You can't do it every day, but one day a week, it'll be okay. The next one I want to talk about is if you struggle to sort of like stick with a reasonable serving size for your favorite foods, your favorite treats. Now, one thing I have to say about this is I want to tell you this story. It's not a long story, but it's funny to me because this happened over 20 years ago, probably closer to 30 now that I'm thinking about it. 30 years ago, I had a conversation with a friend of mine about her sister, I think it was. And for some reason, this story has stuck in my head for 30 years. But her sister was trying to lose weight and had just like a weak spot for pizza. So she would often, like her family, a couple nights a week, because they had younger kids, would order pizza. She would eat way too much pizza. So she felt like she wasn't sticking to her diet or couldn't stick to her diet because a couple times a week she was binging almost on pizza because it was her favorite food. And then I don't know what prompted her to realize this, but at some point she realized that actually like a piece of pizza and a salad is a fairly good dinner. Like it's not all that horrible. And that if she just ate one piece of pizza, she could eat pizza every day and it wouldn't be a big deal. So that's what she started to do, was to get a pizza, package it in like single serving, one pieces. And that's what she would do for lunch every day, is one piece of pizza and a salad. And then she was never felt the need to binge it. So when her family did want pizza for dinner, she would make that her pizza. So instead of pizza for lunch, she had pizza for dinner that night, one piece, and then, packed up the rest for other lunches. So she was able to look at it as, I will eat it every day instead of binging it on the 1 or 2 days that I think I can have it. So it's just like a little change in mindset that you can have it every day. Another thing that I do, and my husband picks on me for it, and I learned it from a content creator somewhere, a weight loss expert or weight loss coach that I saw talking about this, talking about like sweet treats in the evening. Now, I have tried to sort of avoid evening snacking, because that is my downfall. I have a very hard time just sitting down on the couch and having just like a couple crackers and a couple pieces of cheese. I tend to overdo it. But I often also want something sweet at night. So I found these chocolate and actually like cocoa covered almonds that, like a serving size, I think it's like 150 calories for 15 of these. So every evening I take a tiny little bowl and I count out my 15. I put the package away and I take my little bowl into the living room. I sit on the couch, we put on our TV show, and I eat very slowly and mindfully my 15 chocolate covered almonds. It's like the perfect sweet treat to make me feel like I had something I really enjoy. The fact that I'm not eating it straight out of the bag means I know when to stop, so I can slow down towards the end and really cherish those last couple. And then also because it's chocolate covered almonds, like the almonds are good for you. It's got a little protein, got a little bit of fiber, so I don't feel too bad about it. It's not just like sugar, right? It's a decent sugary snack that I love, that I can really like enjoy and savor. And her thought process is also like, when you get down to the end, when you finish that last one, you're going to be a little bit sad that it's gone because it tasted really good. And for that moment, you're going to be tempted to get up and go get the bag and get a few more. But she said, you can just sit with that for a moment, sit with the sadness, acknowledge it like, yep, I really wish I could have more. Now I'm going to have to wait till tomorrow to have more, but that's okay. I can have it tomorrow, just like that pizza story. She said, or if you don't do that, if you were to get up, like get up knowing the fact that if you get up and get those almonds now, you're going to be sad and upset with yourself. So it's better to just sit with it for like the couple minutes until you get like caught up in the TV show and you forget what's going on. You forget all about the almonds or whatever your treat might be. You forget about it and move on, or you break down and do it knowing that you're going to be then sad and upset with yourself. So just choose to sit with it, knowing that, again, it'll be okay. It'll pass. You'll feel good. And then you can feel good about yourself that you enjoyed your sweet treat, and then you'll enjoy it again tomorrow. Another issue can be planning a meal, and then you have the meal, and then you're logging it into your tracker, and you realize it was many more calories than you thought it would be. And the way to get around this is to plan your meal in your tracker. I do this all the time. Before I even cook breakfast, I've usually put it in knowing exactly like what I'm going to have. And I say breakfast, but I really mean brunch. Either way, my meals, I have them in there. And sometimes I have like the whole day planned. When I get up in the morning, I go through, this is what I'm going to eat for brunch. This is what I'm going to have for my afternoon snack. This is what I have planned for dinner. And I get it all in, and then I can change it throughout the day. If I eat something instead, if I change something up, or if I don't eat something, I can go and delete it out, edit it, whatever. But at least then I've budgeted it out. It's much worse to eat something and then to go plug it in and realize you overdid it, because now it's too late. So use your tracker to plan your meals. Maybe you simply struggle to eat 3 meals a day plus a snack and stay within your deficit. Now, your deficit, again, shouldn't be huge. You didn't want to overdo it. Remember, I said only maybe like a 200 to 300 calorie deficit off of your maintenance calories. We don't want to go big. We want to keep it small, eating as much as possible while we slowly lose weight. But maybe you're struggling to just figure that out. Like, meals are too big. The snack it's too many calories. I can't stay within that deficit. Maybe you want to try something like intermittent fasting. I do intermittent fasting, not seriously. I'm not counting the hours saying I cannot eat until this time, but I typically do like a gentle intermittent fast. And an intermittent fast typically means that you don't eat after a certain period of time. So in the evening, you're not watching TV, you're not having a bedtime snack. Have dinner. I have my almonds shortly after dinner, and then I don't eat anything the rest of the evening. I go to bed, I get up in the morning, I drink some water, but I typically don't eat anything until usually like 11 o'clock or so. So I've gone all of that time without eating. Now, there's no magic. People will tell you that there's like this magic number of like 12 hours. If you can go 12 hours without eating, your body does all these wonderful things. Your body does those things anyways. Maybe it increases a little bit after 12 hours, but that doesn't mean that that is like some great beneficial thing. However, the reason it does work to help you lose weight or even to maintain your weight is because it pretty much cuts out one meal out of your day. Now, if you are someone who's like, ooh, I can't skip a meal, I can't skip breakfast, then intermittent fasting isn't for you. It is not for everybody. If you have any sort of sugar issues, it's definitely not for you. If you wake up hungry, it's not for you. I personally, and some friends that I know as well, have discussed this. Like, I wake up, I'm usually not hungry. Not to say I'm never hungry, but I'm usually not hungry. And if I force myself to eat breakfast, I find that I'm hungry then the rest of the day. I have a hard time satiating my hunger if I eat too early. But if I wait just until late morning to eat, then then I feel normal after that. I might have an afternoon snack, have dinner, and then call it good. So it's one of those things where you have to listen to your body, but it might be beneficial. It might be something you want to try and just see how it works. In my house, that means pretty much brunch, snack, and dinner, and then the tiny almond snack in the evening. Those are my meals. That's what I eat every day. Every once in a while, I do wake up hungry and then I do eat breakfast. I eat earlier. I eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack somewhere in the middle. And my calories might be higher on that day, but they're usually not crazy high. And just if there is a day where you are really hungry, trying to starve yourself probably isn't going to help. You probably do just need to eat a little bit more on that day. Keep it healthy, keep it in moderation, but you can't starve yourself. It's not about deprivation, right? Can I say that anymore? I think we got it. If you're like me, you probably find that you struggle to meet a high protein goal and a high fiber goal and stay within your calories. It's that protein that's hard. I have many days where I do hit mine, which is not all that high. My protein goal is currently set at 75 grams per day. I know many people will tell you to eat over 100. It is very hard to eat over 100 and stay in a calorie deficit. So you want to keep it high as you can, but don't freak out if there's a day where you can only get 40 grams of protein. It'll be okay. You just want to focus on trying to get as much as you can. So focus on foods that are high in protein and or high in fiber and lower in calories. Most people can figure that out, even if you do a little Google search or use ChatGPT to come up with a meal plan that's sort of high in protein, high in fiber, low in calories. But where we often fall down is snacking. So here are some snacking ideas that contain either fiber, protein, or both. Some air-popped popcorn with a side of cheese. Raw veggies dipped in some homemade hummus. Greek yogurt with some raspberries and granola. Raisin bran with skim milk. Cottage cheese and a piece of fruit. Whole wheat crackers and tuna fish. Oatmeal with some blueberries. Boiled eggs. That's just the protein, but you can probably pair it with something with some fiber. And lastly, maybe even some sort of protein bar or fiber bar. Now, those are last on my list because they typically are pretty processed, have a lot of extra stuff, often some fake sugars. They're not the best. They're not something you want necessarily in your daily diet, but in a pinch, if you're hungry, need something on the go, sometimes even just need like a little sweet treat, they're better than a candy bar. Well, they can be better than a candy bar. I will link down in the description box a couple of the ones that I like. There are other ones. I'm not endorsing these. I'm not saying these are the best choices. I'm just saying they're the ones that I've tried and I think they're fairly decent. You do you. Another problem might be that you are reaching for convenience foods often, and convenience foods often have more sugar, more fat, like, the processed, prepared for you foods or even the boxed foods. It is typically better if you can eat whole foods that you fix yourself. And the one thing you can do to encourage that is meal prep. And it doesn't have to be like complete meal prep. Like, I don't mean like you have to have like all of your containers of dinners already put together and lined up in the refrigerator, but sometimes just doing some general prep, whether it be boiling some eggs, whether it's cutting up some veggies or some fruit so that you have that available. Maybe it's marinating a piece of meat, getting it thawed and marinated so it's ready to just throw on the grill real quick. Just preparing food to make your prep easier. Because when you're hungry and you think, all right, I had planned on having a snack of like a piece of fruit and a boiled egg, but the fruit still needs to be washed and cut up and the eggs aren't even boiled yet, you're going to reach for a candy bar, right? So have your food prepped as much as possible to make it easy to grab the healthy options. And lastly, if you struggle to come up with meal ideas, like if you just feel like I don't know how to eat healthy meals that are low calorie, I don't know what recipes to prepare, I just don't know what to make, turn to ChatGPT. Now, I'm not a big proponent of using this for like every little thing, but I think this is a pretty good opportunity to use it in a positive way. You can type up in ChatGPT like some of the foods that you like. I like these foods, blah, 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 blah. I'm looking for a meal plan that's high in protein and fiber, but stays under like this number of calories per day. Ask it to give you brunch, snack, dinner, evening snack, or however you want your meals broken out, and see what it comes up with. It will give you some ideas. You don't have to follow it exactly, but it might spark that little bit of creativeness in your brain for your meal planning. If you're following along and you're running into some issues, let me know down in the comments. Tell me what's going on and let's see if we can troubleshoot it together. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care of yourself, eat mindfully, and I will see you in the next video, video 5.